Hey guys, this is Kat, and today I thought we would make this cute little pillow that my 1-year-old, let me see, keeps stealing from her big sister. So I was gonna make her oh, I know you love it. You love it. So I was gonna make her own one out of a purple color. So let me show you what you guys are gonna need to make this, and let's make one. Okay, so what I did first is I kind of figured out how big I wanted my pillow, and I wrote down the measurements. It's 19 by 26, so ending result is going to be like 18 by 25 inches big, long. What I did first on a piece of hard paper, Haley, you're going to fall off of that pillow. What I did on a piece of paper is I drew out all the shapes of the animals, you know, like the center of the eye. So like here's the dog. So I drew out the nose, and then I cut it out, and I drew out the eye, and the pupil of the eye, and then I cut it out of black and white felt. And I think it was like 34 cents at Joann's, so it's not even that expensive. And then you have them for the future when you want to make another one. So I just have these. I'm gonna try to scan them as a PDF, but I can't figure out how to put them on my website as a PDF. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll try it for you guys and figure it out, and then you don't have to do all the drawing, you just get them from my website, but I'll give it a try. And then what you're gonna need is a 18 by 26 size solid color, and then a 20 by 26 size whatever, I guess, color or texture you guys want. I like the chevron thing that seems to be kind of in right now. You're gonna need a sewing machine, which is the easiest, some scissors. I got myself a cutting board and a ruler. I think I got this at Joann's for like $9. And then I use white thread and black thread. And then what else? Oh, an iron to iron your sheets or your fabric straight. And I think that's it. So let's get started. What are you doing? Did you be so big? Are you trying to climb on mommy? Yeah, you tried to. Oh, it's a poop! Okay, so I also forgot to tell you guys to get pieces of, I think this is called batting. It's just really thin, cushiony pieces of, I don't even know, it's not stuffing. I want to say it's called batting. So just small pieces, you don't need a whole bunch of it. So what I did first, like I showed you guys, is I drew up the pieces of the animal that I was going to do, including the ears, and then I cut them out of felt. So that's easy enough. Cut them out of felt. The ears you don't cut out of felt. The ears you're going to cut out of the pictured fabric or designed fabric or whatever you want to call it. So we can set these guys aside. And what we're going to do first, you feel hot, honey? You don't feel good? What we're going to do first is cut out our big pieces, and I've written down the bottom we're going to cut out 9 by 13, but so you don't have to sew every single edge, which, well, I guess you're only going to not sew one side. You're going to do it 9 by 26. So I'm going to do it 9 by 26 because it's long ways. So 9 inches this way. Yeah, 9 inches this way, and then 26 inches all around. And then 10 inches the bottom part, and then 26 inches all around. So I think I mixed that up when I said that in the beginning. 9 by 26 and 10 by 26. Yeah, I'll write all this down on the bottom of the description. Okay, so I went to Walmart and I got myself a yard of this. You don't need a whole yard, like I said, but I always get a yard because just in case I want to use it for something else. So I'm going to cut this to 9 by 26 and I'm going to iron it out just so it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to cut him 10 by 26 and I'm going to iron him out. And then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I got my top cut. So it's 13 inches long, 9 inches high. And then I cut my bottom 26 by 10. And then what I did for the ears is I just folded over my yarn 4 times. And then I put the pattern on it and cut all 4, or traced it. And then I cut it out because then all your ears are going to be exactly the same. So I'm gonna have them this way. And I forgot to tell you guys too, stuffing. You're gonna need stuffing for your pillow. Any kind of stuffing. I get like a soft, fluffy kind for pillows and plushes and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to sew the ears together. You're gonna take the right side of the fabric and you're going to put them together. So both right sides are going to go together and you're going to sew them together. You don't sew the bottom. You're just going to sew the edging here. And a little bit close to the edge, but not close enough where, you know, it can easily rip open. So just around the edges here, do not do the bottom. And then I will show you what to do with this stuff. Okay, so I have sewed my ears together, and you don't have to do like super perfect job around the edges. And then what you do, you just flip them over. Okay, and then once you flip them over, I like to iron them flat. So I'm going to iron those flat, and then after I do that, I'm going to take my bottom, my top, and again, I'm going to put the right side. This looks like the right side on either side, but so you're going to put them together. So you're going to match up your lining here, and if one side's longer than the other, that's okay, we'll trim it, because mine seems to be longer on one side. So then I'm going to take some pins here, and I'm just going to pin it just so it doesn't move on me. So I'm going to pin it all the way down, and then I'm just going to sew down the line here, kind of close to the edge, but not too close. And I just use a basic straight stitch, nothing fancy. So pin this together, sew it down the line, iron your ears flat, and we'll come back. Okay, so I've ironed my ears flat. So So I'm just going to put those aside. We'll deal with those later. I've sewed my straight line here. And as you can see, it's not totally perfect, but that's okay. We can always just cut the edge off here. And these things are super sharp. Cut myself already. Not today, but I've cut myself. Okay. So now you got the top and the bottom. And I'm going to iron this. I'm going to iron this way because I want to put the face on it before I sew this side, because it's kind of hard to sew the face on when it's sewed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up the sides here. You always want to make sure when you do your seams, always make sure these two seams match up, because if they don't, you're going to have a pillow that's like wompy. So you always kind of want to, when you iron and pin, make sure your seams are all pinned together so they're nice and clean. So let me iron this and then we'll put the face on. Okay, so I've ironed my piece here nice and straight. Made sure my seams are matching. What I'm going to do next is take my cutout pieces of my puppy, and what I do is I sew these guys on. So I'm going to put them like that, and then what I usually do is I take a pencil and I draw on there, and then again I just take my black thread on my sewing machine and I just sew along the lines. If you have a lot of patience and time on your hands, you can just take embroidery floss and embroider it if you want to. That's totally up to you. So I'm going to sew these little felt things here on, and then I'm going to figure out where I'm going to want my face and how I'm going to want it, and I'm going to draw it on, and then I'm going to sew my eyeballs, and I'm going to sew my nose, and I'm going to stitch my face, and then I will show you guys the next step. Okay, so I did all my black sewing. I sewed on the felt onto the white eyeball and did it on that side as well. And then, like I said, I drew with pencil a line, and then I kind of just followed it with my sewing machine. And then once I did that, I put the black nose on top of that, and then I sewed around it. So now I'm going to use my white thread, and I'm going to sew his eyeballs on where I want, but I'm going to use white thread. So I'm going to sew them on, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so we got the puppy's face all sewed on. Got the nose, we got the eyes sewed on. Careful, you okay? Okay, so now let me show you what you're gonna do next. Hey, shh. Shh. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna flip your guy inside out, and you are going to sew. I think I'm going to iron this so it's a little bit better, but so iron it in place, and then you're going to sew here, and then you're going to sew the bottom. Okay, so we've sewed the edge, and always make sure that you got your seams lined up. So we sewed here, we sewed down there, so let's turn it inside out, and it looks like I might have not made it over here. Oh, we're good. Now, oh, before we turn it inside out, you're gonna fold this over a tad, because, I don't know if you guys can see that. What's going on? Why is everybody so drama just as I start to film? Okay, so you're gonna fold this over just a tad, just so your seams are nice when you turn it inside out. So just a ½ inch or so all the way around, and iron it down, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so now that you've ironed your edging here, so it looks nicer, this is what I'm going to do with my ears. This is what I did with the cat ones. You can do this, you don't have to do this. You can just leave them and then they'll kind of just flop over like dog ears, but I kind of want them to be fluffy, kind of, no, but not too fluffy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this, I already forgot what it was called, batting, and I'm just going to cut one piece or two pieces, but I'm not going to fold over the batting or anything. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the shape of the ear, and then I'm going to stuff it inside the ear itself. Okay, so I've cut my batting to the size of a little bit smaller so it fits in there. And then what I do is I just take it like this, and then I put it like this, and then I just flip it over. Because otherwise it sucks to try to stuff it. So you just kind of turn your sewn thing inside out, and then you sew it, and then you turn it right side, and there you have it. Now what I'm going to do is sew just like a little piece like this, so it looks like an ear. I'm just going to use a pencil. I'm going to wash this before my kid sleeps with it anyway, so the pencil is going to wash out. So I just kind of draw myself a line, just like I did with my my face. So then I'm going to take my white thread and I'm going to sew where I put my lines. Okay, so you've got your puppy, and then I don't know if you guys, see, like I try to make the inner of the ear not too high. Hopefully, you know, after a little bit it kind of flops over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert it here, just a tad, not too much. To make sure the ear gets, You want to put your shoe on? Okay, so I've pinned my ears. It kind of looks like a bunny. It's supposed to be a dog. I think they'll just flop over, and if not, I'll make them flop over. So I've pinned them in just a little bit, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to sew right here, and I'm going to sew right here and leave this open so I can stuff it And it's so much easier to do it this way, first here and here, and then stuff it, and then sew it here, because last time I didn't do that. I just stuffed it, and then I tried to do the sewing, and it kind of went all zigzaggy. So I'm gonna do this first, and then we're gonna stuff it. Okay, so you got your ears sewed on, your dog / bunny. You could go outside, but just stop messing with the bubbles. Whatever. Okay, so you're gonna stuff your dog here. What am I using? I'm using Fairfield Crafter's Choice 100% polyester, and it's pretty soft and squishy. So let's see here. So just stuff it till you feel comfortable where you want it to be, and then we'll sew up the top. Okay, so we sewed the top here, and the ears are floppy, but they're still kind of cushiony, and I got my stuffing in there. And there we go. I'm just gonna go wash him so he's nice and soft, or she's nice and soft. And they kind of flop back that way too. So there's Haley's pillow. I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna try to do the PDF of the patterns. I guess that's what they're called. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, comments, let me know. Or if you guys want a certain video up, then definitely give me a shout. Let me know what you guys want. Hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.